What is up, you guys? Martin McFly coming at you, bringing you guys the merch. Today, we're going to talk about a couple vinyl pickups, a couple books I managed to get along the way, and something I don't normally do, but they were gifted to me from a close friend. I just got back from Asheville, North Carolina. Got a couple great record stores out there. You got Voltage Records, and then you have Static Age. Both of them were fantastic, and I was no short of spending money there. I also made a short trip to go see a close friend of mine. He's a big friend in the foodie scene. I'll put his link down below. Went to Park Avenue Records, and by far, that is one of the best record stores we have in the state of Florida. Tampa and Orlando were great scenes as far as those go, but Park Avenue, you got Retro, you got East West Records. All of them are fantastic and worth the look. So let's go ahead and get this started. So from the Park Avenue record trip in Orlando, they have a fantastic book selection as far as music goes, especially if you like heavy metal, hardcore, punk. And this is Gainesville Punk, A History of Bands and Music by Matt Walker. I can't wait to dive into this because as far as music scenes go, I did not know the Gainesville music scene was this big. So we're talking about bands like Against Me, Roach Motel, we have Hot Water Music from the Gainesville area. But I really didn't put a lot of thought into what is coming out of that scene, and I can't wait to dig into this a little bit more. Especially for learning anything about Floridian roots as far as metal goes. I mean, there should be a heavy metal book on Orlando and Tampa. I mean, as far as Tampa goes, we have everybody. I mean, Cannibal Corpse from Buffalo, nurtured in Tampa later on in their careers. You have Obituary, you have Iced Earth, you have Trans-Siberian Orchestra, everything from the Tampa Bay area. And then Orlando, I mean, you can't stop them. You got Trivium, you got Death, just a fantastic heavy metal scenes. I would love soon to see someone do a book about that. Another I picked up is For the Sake of Heaviness. This is metalbladerecords. This is the book from Mark Eglinton and the one and the only Brian Slagle of Metal Blade Records. This is the history of how this started in a garage and got it from the ground up. There's a great 15-minute documentary on YouTube. If you haven't checked it, I'll put that in the link below as well. So the record list goes on and on and on. I had to stop myself because they have a fantastic section at Park Avenue Records. But this is something I've been looking for on vinyl for a long time. I bought the CD the second it came out. Now, if you're familiar with the Acacia Strain, they came out with 2 records last year. They came out with this EP, and then they came out with their newest record as well, which is a full length. I wish I could explain this, but the way this came out is you have a bunch of songs that are titled Our Only Mistake Was Giving Them Names. Think of it as one really long song. It's prog, it's deathcore, it's death metal, it's everything, but all compiled in these songs. A little bit of a different approach from their traditional deathcore style. I think it sounds great on CD, but you know what? This is heavy. This is heavy gram vinyl. This is going to have to be colored, and I will do a special review for this on its own. But I was so happy to get this on vinyl because if you look at closed casket activities, you go on Amazon, anyone who's reselling these, it's going for a lot of money. So I got this for a great price. If you can find it, I'm sure it's on eBay and I'm sure it's on Discogs and all of those, but there's a glow-in-the-dark version of this, which I'm sure everybody wanted, and it quickly sold out. Another vinyl record which has been very difficult to pile up and get for a reasonable price. It is none other than The New Era, the new self-titled album, which I will go on record as saying Augment is their magnum opus. It's my favorite record from them. It's probably their best. It's got one of the best closing songs in the history of heavy metal. I mean, everyone wants to say Iron Maiden, Hallowed Be the Name. I'll give them that. It's one of the best closings in metal. But as far as this goes, if you listen to Dementia off Augment, that's probably one of the best closing songs in heavy metal. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This record was very hard to get on vinyl, especially on Amazon. The clear vinyl version sold out instantly. So happy to have a copy of this in my hands. Another one, which I got on CD, I had to go out of my way to get it because the cover is banned in several countries, and you have to pay a little bit extra for it, but I was able to snag a CD copy, but I saw the vinyl copy, and it's a blown-up picture of the original, and it was a special album for me. It just got me through a lot of hard times, and this is none other than Chasing Ghosts by the Amity Affliction. This cover is actually banned in a lot of countries because it's got the kid hanging from the tree, kind of rising from as a ghost. But overall, just a fantastic record. This is kind of like the last little bit in the trio albums. The very next one, I Bring the Weather With Me, and all of those songs on that record. This is kind of like a mixture of like a trio of albums. I call them the Blue Albums, and if you're an Amity Affliction fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say the Blue Albums. This is right before they started changing their songs a little bit more. If you listen to the last two, you've noticed that they're starting to include a lot more synth and a little bit more poppier vocals, but it's still great. Misery was a definite change for me. It took me a long time to get used to it, but so far they haven't released a bad record yet, but I'm really glad to have this on vinyl. And this is a limited deluxe edition lemon vinyl. I need to go ahead and open these up for you guys. This is Strike Anywhere, Exit English. This is a hardcore band that I've been jamming to for a little while. We got 12 tracks on here. They're a little bit on the shorter side. No different than your typical hardcore band. This is a little bit more in the vein of Incendiary, Have Heart, Bane, things like this. A little bit of Comeback Kid influences in there. Fantastic record overall, especially if you're going for hardcore. If you're anything like Terror, Comeback Kid, any of that era of music. Another one I picked up, this is off of online though. They had a recent sale that I noticed from Relapse Records. They're reissuing a lot of the Amorphous albums, and I had to pick it up. This is one of the very first Amorphous records that I picked up, and I knew I had to have it. This is Tales from the Thousand Lakes, reissue on vinyl, and this has to be shown. I also showed this on my new Instagram page, which I'll leave in the link below, but an absolutely gorgeous vinyl record. This is more of like the peacock vinyl is the best way I can explain it. So we have a splatter merge, clear on with blue on clear, and then a little bit of like these peacock imprints on there. Absolutely beautiful. It does come with an insert. Doesn't come with much else though. I think it comes with the download code somewhere in there. But we have our songs with our lyrics, and then we have beautiful, beautiful hawk in the photo as well. I was gifted this from a close buddy of mine. He went into a local record store that I just found out about. It's in Dunedin Records and Audio. If you guys haven't been there, the owner is very nice. He kind of smokes cigarettes a little bit, so unfortunately you got to deal with that when you walk in the store. But he's got a great selection. Prices his items pretty well. I actually got a first edition AC/DC Let There Be Rock, and I'm totally blown away that I got that in there for only $10. I don't think he knew what he had. But one of my favorite records, especially in the last couple of years, this is Cannibal by Bury Tomorrow. I have the poster signed, I have the CD deluxe edition, but I knew I had to have it on vinyl. This is actually a very heavy vinyl record as well. Comes out on blue sea glass, which is very beautiful, but this is much heavier than your standard black vinyl. It sounds fantastic, and there is definitely something to getting the heavier the vinyl, the better it's going to sound. There's no pops, no skips, no reverberations in the sound, anything like that, but it sounds fantastic. Also comes with a booklet as well, which I'm going to show for you guys. As you can see, we have a lot going on here. I mean, a big, beautiful book with a lot of the artwork. As far as Bury Tomorrow records, this is probably my favorite one since maybe since the first two. I mean, everything that they've done so far has been fantastic, but this kind of really harkens back to the first two records that they released. Even their demo tapes, if you go as far back to find those on YouTube, they all sound fantastic. So I'm going to show you guys something that I don't normally do, but these were a gift to me from a friend. So I know some people are big into the action figure scene. I'm not really a big action figure guy, but it's kind of cool to have, especially a piece of history. So this is from the Kenner Toys. This is the BOBA FETT. And I just wanted to give a big thank you to the friend that got this for me. I thought this was pretty nice, especially now with Mandalorian. I just started watching the series. I'm almost done with Chapter 2. Fantastic so far. And then, of course, this is the carbonized edition of Boba Fett, and this is a little bit bigger. This is from the Star Wars Black series, but it's got this nice sheen to it, and I think that's why they call it the carbonized series. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for getting that for me. Now, my cousin, he's a big NECA fan. NECA Toys have got some great stuff. I love their Godzillas, as you can see right up there. And if you're familiar with the Halloween series at all, you have Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Now, this was originally intended from John Carpenter to be a spin-off, not related to Michael Myers, but there is a cameo appearance of Halloween 1 playing in Halloween 3. It is not supposed to be of the Michael Myers canon. What it was originally going to be is it was going to be several Halloween movies, all different stories of Halloween. And unfortunately, Halloween 3 kind of tanked, and they never touched it ever again. Well, they came out with the NECA toys of the original three from from Season of the Witch. I am a huge Halloween freak, and I can't wait to display this at the Halloween time, especially with my village. If you're familiar with Lemax at all, they have some great Halloween village things. I use Department 56. I use Lemax. They can be found anywhere. Department 56, a little bit harder to get to. There's a Christmas store in Clearwater, Florida. If you ever visit, when I go visit Clearwater, though, there is a great Christmas store there, and has a wonderful Department 56 display. They also carry Lemax as well. I can't wait to actually display this in my new village coming this Halloween, which we will be sure to talk about down the road. Now, we do have some other vinyl records to talk about, and these were pickups from Static Age Records and Voltage Records in Asheville, North Carolina. There is a funny history to this first one I'm about to show you, because if you go talk to the Accusation Network, he has a very funny video about how he acquired this record, and every time he tried to buy it off Amazon, he got the Goo Goo Dolls Christmas album. Love the Goo Goo Dolls, I love their old punky stuff, but no one asked for the Christmas album, and no one asked to buy it from anyone, especially when they were expecting this. This is the newest LP from the band Draconian. This is a doom band. Under a Godless Veil. Absolutely gorgeous, sleek, matted vinyl cover. The record so far, from what I've heard, it looks like they stepped right where they left off from Sovereign. I absolutely love Sovereign. It's probably my top 3 LPs from Draconian, but this, a little bit slower, a little bit doomier. The lead female vocals are still absolutely gorgeous. And then we have our death vocals from Anders Jacobson, and then you have Heike Langens, which is the female vocalist as well. This is the inside double gatefold vinyl. And this is a special limited edition, so we're going to see what this special limited edition is all about. Black on black, a little bit of gold for your insert. I'm sorry, it's probably pretty hard to tell, but if you want to look at the lyrics, I'm sure you can look at those online. This is going to be, and they give you a very nice, they give you like the upgraded as far as the covers go. This is black vinyl, black on black. Now this is very heavy. I'm thinking this is maybe 140 gram, because this is very, very heavy vinyl record. It is not your typical light black plastic, which also something being starred on YouTube, and I love rewatching these. Black Plastic Records, it's in Dortmund, Germany. They have a bunch of videos, especially for Century Media Records. You have lead singers from several different bands, all discussing albums that were important to them. Most notably, you have Dark Tranquillity, you have Long Distance Calling, you have Iced Earth. Lead singers from all these bands are on there, and they're wonderful to sit down and listen to. They really make you think back about what records were important to them, what records are important to you. So that I got from Voltage Records. Now I have one more for you guys. This one I got from Static Age. If you go in there, it's called the Static Age Records, so you can kind of get the idea that they're big punk fans, big Misfit fans. Big punk section. If you're into black punk, all that good stuff, it's in there. This I found hiding in the used rock section. Did not know what I was getting, but this is Seasons of the Wolf. This is their self-titled record. I have never heard of these guys before, but once I found them on YouTube, I knew I had to pick it up. I got this pretty cheap. Beautiful cover. This is actually a gatefold as well. Not going to hide that from you guys. This was recorded in Sarasota, Florida, so as soon as I saw Florida on it, I had to pick it up, even if it didn't sound good. But I listened to it, and it sounds fantastic. This is I think this is a 180 gram vinyl. This is very heavy. Sounds absolutely gorgeous. Black on black. Nice center rings. And this is basically like a mixture of several different power metal bands. I mean, you have a little bit of mixture of like Pharaoh. You have a little bit of Ozzy Osbourne kind of assets in there. I guess you could say a little take on some of the things he's done. You have a little bit of Dio. You have a little bit of a Halloween in there. You have everything kind of like a mixture of like power metal and a little bit of like 70s and 80s in there. You have a lot of Count Raven influences you can hear in there as well. But overall, what I've really enjoyed what I've been hearing from it so far. I wanted to give one more big shout out to Mr. Dr. Professor British. He was the one who helped me out and took me up to Asheville for the weekend. I wanted to give a big shout out to him. So this is kind of it for today. We got a whole boatload of music to listen to. I can't wait to start really digging into these and seeing how they sound. I hope everyone was doing well. I hope to all of our mothers and all of our ladies out there, happy Mother's Day. And you have certainly earned it, especially if you've been taking care of someone that you love, especially over the last year. Thank you so much for everything you guys do. To my own mother and to all the mothers in my family as well, my grandmothers, may they rest in peace as well. Thank you for everything you guys have done for me. And I hope everyone, you guys take care of each other out there, okay? Good to see you.